from the Ifugao State University, we'd like to present our research project entitled Documentation of the Tired and Scarred Wooden Traditional Houses in the Municipality of Kiangan, Ifugao, Philippines. The contents of the presentation will include the study area, the scope and the objectives of the research, as well as the methodology used, the findings and the results, and the recommendations. We shall include the outcomes of a conservation planning workshop that we have conducted. The study area is in the municipality of Kiangan, Ifugao, Philippines. It is home of indigenous peoples, specifically the Ifugaos, and it is a World Heritage Site as designated by UNESCO that goes with the construction of a traditional house. The objectives is to produce a complete inventory of the wooden houses, as well as identify the locations of each house and identify the rituals and the practices related to the traditional wooden house. The methodology used is a survey, and total enumeration was necessary to have a complete inventory of the built heritage. The study utilized survey questionnaires, from which we gathered data from all the house owners, and a focus group discussion, or FGD, was done to verify as well as to address the data gaps. For the third objective, which is the identification of the rituals, a mumbaki, or a native priest or a shaman, was the key informant. Only one mumbaki was identified. We go to the findings of the research. In 1929, Father Francis Lambret, a Belgian missionary, counted 321 native houses in 3 villages in Kiangan. At the moment, as of 2019, there are 207 traditional houses in 13 villages of Kiangan. So there's a great reduction in the number of traditional houses. 63% are granary or storage facilities, while 37% are used as house dwellings or residential. We asked the house owners how they acquired their house, and 90% said that it was inherited by their family. 5% constructed by either the owner himself or by a house builder. 3% were bought from other families, and 2% were not sure how they acquired the house. As for the usage of the houses, 44% were used as storage facilities where they put in grains, specifically rice. 30% are residential, where people live did modifications and used it as a dwelling place. 25% are not being used at all and are abandoned, and 1% is used as a homestay facility. As for the age of the traditional houses, 59 houses are more than 100 or more years old. 99, or majority of it, are 90 years old, and only a few, like one, is recently built and is aged at 10 years old. For objective number 2, wherein we tried to geotag and locate where are all these 207 houses, the field researcher used a mobile phone to geotag all the houses that were identified. We pinned these locations onto a Google Earth map, and we have provided all the barangays or the villages with the copies of this Google Earth map with all the pinned location of the native houses. This is for their use for monitoring, for use when they have to know how are the status of the houses, native houses. So all 13 barangays or communities were provided with these maps. For the third objectives, Professor Marissa Bulong, my co-researcher, will present this.
To continue what my I am Marissa Bulong, and let me present objective 3 of our research. The objective was to identify the rituals and practices related to traditional house construction, and these were the results. First, we have Baki, refers to ritual or Ifugao sacrificial rite. The Ifugao vernacular architecture involves a number of rituals. Then we have Hogop. When a new house is constructed, the Ayangan and Tuwali groups perform the Hogop ritual to ask the deities for blessings of prosperity and good health for the occupants of the house. Then we have Agamid. So 1 month after the Hogop ritual, Agamid or Thanksgiving is done. 2 to 3 pigs are slaughtered and chickens will be offered. Then we have Baltung. This is a ritual in which the Ifugao shamans stamp their feet after each sentence of the ritual chant. They perform the Baltung ritual during the Hogop. Then Hongan Dibale. After the Hogop, a welfare ritual for the house may be carried out. The traditional priest or mumbaki blesses every part, corner, and level of the house so that this may last long and bring peace, harmony, and fortune to the occupants. We have the balog, a ritual of prestige. A piece of wood with carving with the lizard or man is placed inside their house, and then the balog ritual is performed. Based on the results of our research, we have the following recommendations. Conservation planning must be done as basis for policy formulation. Then these rituals and practices should be preserved through the school of living tradition. And vernacular architecture should be included in the Indigenous Peoples Education or IPED. And these rituals and practices should be documented. We had a conservation planning workshop, and these were the outputs. The participants came up with shared vision of what they perceived to be the desired state of the traditional houses. So they came up with this vision to restore the Kiangan traditional houses for its adaptive and multi-functional usage. These were the outputs. Need for a consultation with native house owners and stakeholders for the restoration, maintenance, and repair of the wood structures. Then ordinances on cultural property protection and preservation by the local government units at the municipal and barangay levels should be crafted. Information, education, and communication, IEC campaigns on native house conservation, and the inclusion of architectural and cultural native houses in the school curriculum are needed. Regular community tree planting activities, a source of indigenous trees for native house construction and repair, are essential. Nursery of indigenous tree species is being established at the local elementary school for educational purposes and as sources of planting materials. Then finally, we thank the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, NCCA, for the financial support given for the conduct of the research project, documentation of built heritage of the municipality of Kiangan. Thank you so much for listening.
Then thank you very much, Eulalie, and for the very nice presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much also.